Already posted.
Alright, perfect. Let's see if my laptop will come to life. Looks like it
First
won't.
ban's Ravana.
Just typical ban. Nothing's going to get too exciting unless they ban something unheard of. Odin actually going to get banned. I think they might be going for a healing comp, or at least the comps they use get caught in that cage a lot. Not uncommon to see that ban, I guess, but definitely a little unusual.
Okay, are we broadcasting?
I am.
Okay. I'm dumb. My bad. We've seen Ravana play a lot and be really good in the league thus far. Do you think Ravana is just a general pick or a tailored pick?
He was just buffed to a point where he's good in multiple roles, and he does very well with them. His early game is insane with the damage that he does, and he has good sustain too between his passive and his healing. Has good CC too with slows and stuns.
Once again, we see the Medusa ban here.
Another Medusa ban. Again, she's just pretty good on console, and that stun's pretty hard to miss if you can time it right. And no matter how good your sensitivity is, usually it's pretty hard to react to that if she comes around a corner and hits you with it by surprise. Asano going to be left open and immediately locked in by Krabby, Krew, Sneaky Beaver 55. I don't know if that's their jungler, but he's going to be locking it in for whoever their jungler is. Inhumans might be kicking themselves for letting that one go, but going to grab a Rama of their own, it looks like. If they're good with Rama, Rama can tear through a game, and Thoth also going to be locked in. Not surprising there. Surprised also, but I am surprised to see the Bologna get left open.
I am super surprised about that. I'm wondering if they're going to pick her up or not.
I don't think
Maybe
she's...
it's Inhumans testing them out?
I don't know. I think Bologna is just a tried and true character, and picking her up first is not going to leave anybody with question marks in their head, but making it through the first 2 rounds as well as the 2 ban phases, maybe Krabby Krew will pick her up along with Isis?
Perhaps probably debating that right now. Looking at the roster, I believe Sneaky Beaver's their mid.
Whoever Sneaky Beaver is, actually going to hover on the Apollo. I don't think that the Inhumans would have done that on purpose. Iminical could be picking that up for himself. He could also go with Sun Wukong, but they might be trying to see if they can force Krabby Krew to ban out the Bologna so that Iminical can simply grab a Sun Wukong instead. He may be just wanting to go for that comfort pick and wants to see Bologna off the table, or he doesn't mind going against her, but both teams not even looking at her right now.
Iminical doing a great time. Last time we saw him get pick up Bologna, right?
Iminical is Sun Wukong, and his Sun Wukong is something to be feared. We've seen teams ban it, and when he picks it, he usually wins. They're 2-0 right now. Is Krabby Krew 2-0 as well?
Yeah, because Fallen Angels was... we had some problems with them.
So Krabby Krew is 0-2 or 2-0?
2-0.
So both teams coming in with winning records right now, so I don't think either are stressed right now. Probably going to go into this pretty relaxed, but I think once the first game is decided, it's going to send one team or the other into panic mode. Sun Wukong going to be hovered on by Iminical. I think he values the comfort pick more so than the power that Bologna provides. That might be a mistake, but as long as the Sun Wukong stays true to how good it is, I think they're going to be fine, but immediately answering back with a Bologna ban on there, and I don't think they care to have her, and they don't care to play against her either.
Can someone contact Sneaky Isis and tell him not to go Shadow?
Yes, if somebody could contact just anybody on their team, the message should get around. They should all be in comms. Pretty interesting that Apollo is going to get picked so early in the draft. He's very good with his push. He's very good with clear. I think between Apollo and Isis, they have some good objective push. They can grab a Gold Fury pretty quick between the Apollo passive as well as the ultimate from Isis. But other picks probably would have been better. A Ho Yi was on the board as well as a Scotty. They could have grabbed either of those gods, but if we can see a pretty good Apollo, because we've seen a good Apollo before, but I think Inhumans are a bit better of a team than the last Apollo to win a game. The team that used the Apollo played against a pretty lower skill team, and Inhumans are definitely not that, so they got to be careful here.
One of the favorite teams going into this league to be in the finals, in fact.
Inhumans have been a pretty closely knit unit for a long time, and plenty of teams have scrimmed against them, and few of them have outright won in a 2-0, or at least have barely picked off games against them. Everybody struggles against them. They're just a very, very well put together team.
I agree.
More typical bans looking like they're both looking at the support role right now as Khepri and Ganesh, both going to be banned. I've seen God's Hitman's Geb, and I think Geb would be a pretty good ban on their end if they wanted to keep that out of his hands.
Definitely. If no team wants to go against a barricade like the Geb.
I think going against a good Geb's a nightmare, as he can bail his team out of so many issues. If Rama wants to go in and be reckless, a shield will get him out so quickly.
And that knockup is just annoying as all heck early game.
Yes, and if they wanted to grab an Awilix to combo with the Geb, I think Sidon would be perfectly okay with grabbing the Awilix and God's Hitman grabbing that Geb just to get that easy combination. I wouldn't be surprised to see it there. Concluding the ban phase, and Athena ban coming out of Krabby Krew, still not looking at the Geb. I'm wondering if they don't mind it, as they could probably draft a counter to him.
Give me a moment. I have to make sure that they know no shadow skins.
No problem. Sidon going to be picking here, going to be most likely looking for his jungler, but he could be going for the support pick here. It's either call for them. I think both Awilix and Geb would be great picks right now. Terra actually going to be locked in, a top tier god in the Guardian role. That's not a pick anybody's going to mind at all. You like to have a Terra on your team with the continuous CC and the light sustain in the laning phase.
Right.
Just
and
curious.
depending on how you build her, yeah, what?
Just curious to see what Sidon's going to be picking for a jungler here. He has all the information he needs after these two picks to know exactly what he's going with, and he can calculate whatever his pick is to be the one thing that could beat them. Sasano, you have to take that into account. He's going to be all over the map, and you got to be able to out-jungle him.
I believe Nemesis is the unofficial counter to Sasano at this point in time. All the people I've heard and talked to about it.
I think Nemesis is good, but she could be displaced as badly as any other jungler. Sasano's good at with his burst, as well as Nemesis with the stripping the protection. I think that'd be good against a Hercules and a Xing Chen. Not for a Sasano, I don't think. Erlong Shen gonna be the choice for Sidon. Gonna take that into the jungle role. I don't think Sun Wukong's gonna be the jungler here, and trading between Sidon and God's Hitman is going to make that correct. It's gonna be Erlong Shen in the jungle. Going for a very sustainy and very tanky comp. They have 3 members in their front line and 2 members in their back line between Rama and Thoth, and that's not bad at all. The crits from Rama, the raw power from Thoth are going to make them perfectly fine in a team fight, as long as they can orchestrate it perfectly and not lose one of their back lines in the middle of it. So all around pretty good drafts between, exactly. All around pretty good drafts between both teams. I don't think either of them show any blatant weaknesses in any lane. Xing Chen, if he can play well and get good ultimates off and burn a lot of beads on the side of Inhumans, they could try and get advantages going towards them to allow an Isis or a Hercules to wreak havoc in the backline.
I see Xing Chen and Apollo's clear being better than Rama's and Terra's early, at least at level 1. Terra having a hard time clearing at level 1.
Terra's level 1 clear is definitely one of the worst among all the Guardians, but Rama still has those arrows, and if he can conserve all 5 for the laning phase, he can get the minions and archers pretty low. Apollo and Xing Chen probably going to have the better end of that clear. You're right. As soon as Apollo hits that passive, he's going to take out those archers and start getting some poke out, but we'll see exactly how that works out.
Right. And looking at the combinations, I expect to see a Susano ult into a Hercules ult, along with Xing Chen keeping them rounded up with his root, wouldn't you say?
I think if Xing Chen can get good pulls, the ability to follow up is going to be perfectly manageable by their team on all ends of the map. A Sasano can pull them, a Sasano can hold them still with his ultimate, and Isis Spirit Ball can turn a fight one way or the other easily. A Spirit Ball hitting 2 people is monumental, and you can combo off of that and get some pretty good kills. So I think as long as Isis can make those Spirit Balls worthwhile, I think it'll be fine.
I agree. And looking over at Inhumans team, what kind of combos do you expect to see?
I'm not looking for any specific combinations. I just think that the early game between Erlong Shen, Sun Wukong, Erlong Shen, Thoth, just those 2-man group ups and try to get those picks. And once you hit late game, relying on Thoth and Rama and allowing your 3 frontliners to be as annoying as possible. I think Potty Racer and Dark Mantle are both perfectly capable with their gods. So as long as they get to the mid and late game without a big disadvantage, I think they're going to be looking pretty happy.
And how do you expect the solo lane matchup to go? Hercules versus Sun Wukong.
I think it's pretty even. Hercules can easily catch Sun Wukong out of place if he uses his Tiger form, or if he misses the Tiger form, or he stuns himself, or he stuns Hercules in a situation that Hercules could turn it around and push him under tower or something. It's going to be a slap fight. Both have good clear. Both have decent sustain between Hercules' heal, and Sun Wukong can always ultimate. Just going to be pretty close. Tyler Stewart, 8, hopefully going to show off his skills and see if he can't make a Minicle sweat a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Minicle, one of the best solo winners in the league at this moment, right?
I think he's demonstrated that he knows his role very well. We've pretty much only seen Sun Wukong out of him. Sun Wukong was banned out of the first game. I can't remember what else he played, but he's good at his role, and he has his comfort picks that are going to be very effective against whoever he plays. I think at this point, focusing him out is not a bad tactic by Krabby Krew if they wanted to go that route.
Right, and at this time, just want to make sure that everyone hears this, but we will be doing the much requested MVP game. So teams start looking at looking inwards and start nominating someone that you want to be your MVP. Or as the season goes on, we can decide when we'll do that. But probably at week 4 or 5, we'll do that for the mid-season.
Sounds like a fun event. Get all the big boys into a arena together or something just to see who's the biggest boy of them all.
And we'll do other fun events suggested by Michael, admin versus team captains, or just team captain brawl for fun. We'll see, maybe we can start some sort of charity event with the captains or something. Try to find a good cause we can all agree on.
Yes. So hoping to see good early. Go for it.
Go ahead. Yeah, go for it, man. Jesus, where to sink.
Say your piece, dude. You're good.
All teams looking like they're experiencing their gods.
I think they're all experiencing their gods. Again, we can't really judge by masteries, as they could have copied their accounts from PC. And when you do copy your account from PC, it doesn't bring the masteries with you, but it does bring the skins, and it does bring the skins in your account level. So I don't think either of them are worried about their experience with the god. It's just going to be who can win this early game and get their players ahead.
All right.
My AI is starting to load up here, so hopefully the Taric doesn't get poked out too much, and if she can use her advantage that she has against the Xing Chen, Terra's actually a pretty good pick against that with the double dash, as well as being able to hold him in place. And Xing Chen struggles against gods like Apollo as well as Terra that can, if he starts to wind up his ult, they can both dash out pretty easily, and if you can pay close attention, it takes about an hour and a half for his ult to wind up, so I don't see them having a problem with that.
Yeah, Dark Mantle's Rama definitely a really good, has really good escape. Rama with that roll away. What is that called? It's a roll, right?
Evade and assault, something like that. But it gives him that ability to cripple Xing Chen from his onslaught as well. So I think they both have easy escapes as long as they can pay attention to when their beads are up and making sure that their dash is up when their beads are down to make sure they don't get caught out by Xing Chen. But early game, as long as Krabby Krew plays pretty reserved and only gets the picks that they need, they can start grouping up after they get a first blood, or at least get an advantage on one side of the map or the other, and start winning the farm game and see if they can't beat Inhumans at their own game.
All right. And actually, something I forgot to mention in the picks and bans, this is technically Krabby Krew's first game because their last opponents were disqualified.
So Krabby Krew is actually coming in with cold feet right now, and Inhumans having played one set, although I don't think their first set is something to use as an experience gained by them. They rolled over their opponents pretty easily and showcased their better picks, and even in the second game didn't really take it seriously and rolled their way to a victory there. So I think if Krabby Krew is pretty good, they can catch the Inhumans off guard and make a pretty good play.
I agree. Inhumans, I mean, Krabby Krew, not like no one has any data on them thus far. That might be their advantage. I wonder how Inhumans will approach this unknown opponent.
Well, looking at their picks and as well as their starting builds, I think they know the meta at least. Their skill, I don't know. We haven't seen them play in a big team fight yet, but their picks were pretty meta. Apollo, I think, is a bit of a stretch, but Apollo isn't a bad god by any means, so both teams, I think, are pretty even looking at each other. Both of them should have the respect.
Everyone coming in from behind there in mid lane.
So the clear advantage going the way of Inhumans right now. Looking like the curse is going to come out onto Sneaky Beaver, and he's going to be caught out, but using the beads going to be able to get out.
Just barely.
Just barely too, but it's going to leave Potty Racer and Sidon open to go into the jungle and get that speed buff right now. If they were to come and fight it, I think that'd be a first blood, but Sneaky Beaver and D Milwo? I'm going to call him Mywo.
Milo? Okay, yeah.
Sneaky Beaver and D Mywo. Just going to stay in lane and not contest. I think that's smart, but coming up from behind, just going to go for the wave right now, not going to go for the poke right now. Yeah, duo just looking pretty even. Inhumans going to get that clear advantage. Like I said, Arama, as long as he manages his passive with those astral arrows pretty well, he can clear the wave.
And still do a lot of damage early game as well.
Yes. A slap fight coming between Tyler Stewart and Imminical in the solo lane. Sun Wukong versus Hercules. A lane I've seen plenty of times. Not as I've seen more Hercules than I've seen Sun Wukong, but an interesting matchup. Missing the dash there to push him under tower. Imminical, that could have been a first blood for him, but whiffing that dash and unable to get that there. That should be that should be a yes, that should be a wake-up call for Imminical to play a little bit cleaner. You get caught under tower and you lose first blood. That's going to be really hard to come back. A Hercules from ahead hits really hard.
Oh yeah. He's a bruiser, all right.
And the first oracles of the game going to go to the Inhumans. So already winning the farm game by over 300 gold now at 2 minutes. Whatever Krabby Krew is doing, they're doing it wrong, letting a few too many waves go under tower and losing too many buffs. Got to start cleaning it up here.
Zing Chin and Apollo coming back in the lane. Looks like they just took their purple.
Over in right lane, Sidon going to be going 1 versus 2. Unable to get his teleport. He was dashed out of it. Sidon looking like he's going to be the first blood for Krabby Krew. No, able to get stunned out there. Not going to be able to get him. And Minicool coming in and saving his jungler. So not a first blood for Krabby Krew, but it was very close. Sidon getting caught out there. I think it's time to start cleaning it up and getting some wards out. Krabby Krew's here to play.
Oh yeah. Good charge on Herc. Herc with a knock-up on the Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong's low. Sun Wukong gets out with the bull.
I think Sidon would be a smart choice just to back here, or at least wait until you have more backup to clear this jungle safely. If they came and found you, that'd be a kill. But Krabby Krew is here to play. Tyler Stewart playing some pretty clean Hercules right now. Aside from that one missed dash, I think he's playing pretty clean.
I agree. Though a little underleveled compared to the Minicool, but
more people are level 5 on the Inhumans, but it's still pretty close. It's only about a 700 gold lead, but one team fighter, one play can get the Krabby Krew unit right back on top. A little bit of fighting going on in duo lane. Looking like Jack without Daxter. Going to be able to dash out right there, leaving Tinder? Tinder doesn't work. I like that. That's a good name.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
I mean, I guess that's for you and your personal experience. I got to say, I've had different stories.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
Yes, sir. Just 0-0 at 4 minutes right now. Sneaky Beaver going to be using the ultimate onto Potty Racer, but Sidon going to be able to taunt away and save his teammate. Sneaky Beaver, pretty good job trying to make the play there, but also a good job by Sidon by using his ultimate as well to peel the enemy jungler off of his mid.
Yep, and that's the real scary part of Erling Chin is that unexpected taunt. You sometimes just forget about it because it just doesn't seem like a big part of his kit.
Minicool looking like he's going to be trying to make a play here. A little caught out, but abilities are down on both sides, so I think just staring at each other and having random standoffs. No first blood yet. Both teams playing pretty smart and pretty safe. This is pretty good to see.
Yeah, definitely a different game from Inhumans' first game here.
Yes.
I think we saw first blood within the first minute.
And pretty much every game we've seen between two teams with a pretty big skill gap, the first blood usually happens within the first minute, and then they just start rolling from there and grabbing a gold fury and getting to the end game pretty quick. Looking like this is going to be a different story. 5 minutes, no first blood, and not a prominent gold lead yet. Actually, it's going to be a 1,200 gold lead on the side of Inhumans. They're farming up, and if I could make a prediction, it'll happen just like last game, where a little lead turned into a big lead, and a big lead turned into a pretty easy victory on the side of the team that had that lead.
So what Krabby Krew needs to address is their farming capabilities here to come back, to really be able to fight them.
Not to fight them. I think the team fights are pretty even right now. It's just trying to get more camps to get individual players ahead. They've lost oracles both times so far.
And Terra's coming in from behind and dueling.
Yeah, not able to get a stun there, but at least scaring Tinder doesn't work off. And Jack without Daxter going to come in and try and contest it, but only wasting his ability there.
Yep. Thoth over at Gold Fury, what is he doing?
I think he was just looking to maybe make a rotation. Actually going to come behind Milwo, looking like Milwo might be the first blood here. Actually missing the ult is Potty Racer, but the taunt's going to come out of Sidon. Milwo 776 going to go down the first blood to Sidon.
Good job by Potty Racer with that rotation there.
I think it's actually Potty Racer just coming from behind, and unfortunately Milwo was just unable to spot that out and didn't have a ward.
Susano looking for this kill on Potty Racer. Potty Racer's dash down, I believe. Nope, it's up.
Sneaky Beaver wasn't able to find that on Susano there, but I don't think he was low enough for that to be any kill potential anyways.
Yeah. Until about mid-game, Susano's damage output isn't all that high.
His early game is pretty good. His early game is actually pretty good with Bluestone. It's just you can't really do that much damage by yourself. Susano does best when he has another teammate like Isis to back him up with stuns, so he can keep that continuous damage going.
And the objective secure with ISIS is pretty good.
Yes, and that is, I think, a big reason that Krabby Krew grabbed her, so they can secure a Gold Fury or Fire Giant a little bit easier, trying to value that objective game a little bit more.
Yep, farm a huge part of the game.
Sidon in a little bit of trouble here. And Minicool, however, going to come in and clean up Sneaky Beaver. Mowo in a bit of trouble here, looking like he's going to go down to Sidon with his second kill of the game.
Third kill of the game, actually. Oh, his second game.
Nope, that's the second kill of the game. And Minicool actually got that first kill of that fight to give them the advantage, and Sidon stuck with it and grabbed another kill for himself. Looking like that Erlong Shen. Go for it.
Go ahead. No, I just thought you said that was the second kill of the game.
No, second kill for Sidon. But anyways, looking like Erlong Shen was the correct choice here, able to shut down the enemy jungler. Sneaky Beaver hasn't made any prominent plays yet, except to die and not farm as well as Sidon is. A big fight breaking out on the right side. Tyler Stewart a little low, but able to sustain through it and get out.
Hercules is just a monster tank with that heal and his baseline protections.
I think he's a pretty bright spot on the side of Krabby Krew. As long as he can stay even with Minicool, his solo lane is going to be just as punchy as a Minicool in the late game and mid game.
Yep, and that's the kind of thing that can change your games. Having one player at par or even better than the opponents. That can
solo lane is a pretty big.
Team.
You're right, the solo lane's a pretty big role, and as soon as the first person gets that tower and has the lead, they start rotating around the map, and it's just a downhill slide for the team that has to suffer from that.
First tower going to Inhumans while we weren't looking.
I haven't seen a tower go down yet.
It's mid.
Or actually, you're right, mid lane. The mid lane tower is going to be the first to go down, and Humans playing that objective and farm game so much better than Krabby Krew right now. Already sitting at a 4,000 gold lead with only 3 kills on their side. Desperation mode is going to start coming out from Krabby Krew here. They need to find kills. Sneaky Beaver once again going to get caught out. Sidon with his 3rd kill of the game on a killing spree. Tearing through the enemy team. Sidon making an excellent showing here with that Erlong Shen. I've seen Sidon play a numerous number of junglers, but Erlong Shen going to be the more peculiar of them, but hitting all the stunts he needs and getting really key ultimates for him to be able to be successful on his team and help the rest of his team get kills too. And Minicool pretty happy to have him as a jungler. A pretty big engagement coming out from Tyler Stewart, immediately grabbing the ult, but going to get taunted by Sidon. Good example of good play by both players. They're comfortable with fighting him right now, and I think good body block by Minicool. I don't think he intended to, but he missed the damage from his ult, but sticking with it. Tyler Stewart going to go down. The backup from Potty Racers is going to be what cleans up that kill, and he's going to get his first kill of the game.
Where was the rest of Krabby Crew's team? Was my one person there?
Well, Tinder was over in dual lane. Sneaky Beaver, I think, didn't want to get into that fight. 2 warriors against him isn't a very good matchup for him right now, especially when he's 2 levels down, 3 levels down to both characters. Not a good fight for him. So I think playing smart and just going for the farm, but a slippery slope right now. They're behind.
Yep, 0-5, and what gold? 5,000 at this point, I believe.
It's over 5,000. It's about 5,100 gold right now. I could always bring up that chart, but I'm kind of lazy. Yeah, 5,100 gold right now and about 7,300 experience. That was a quick lead made by them at only the 10-minute mark.
What do you have to say on the? Aurelian hasn't really built anything on. Into Executioner. What do you think about that pick for early Shin Jungle?
I think he's ahead to a point where he can do whatever he wants, and with that extra penetration, he's going to be able to take the protections away from a Gold Fury. And remember, Executioner is not only for the individual player, he removes the protections from the Gold Fury, so every single stack of Executioner on that Gold Fury is going to make it easier for Dark Mantle to do extra damage on it as well.
Dark Mantle, a really good carry we've seen thus far. Hits a lot of his basics and knows how to play Rama really well.
His Rama is obviously in tune, and I think he understands his lane a little bit better than Tinder does right now, able to manage his ward game as well as his farm game a lot better. I see 3 wards in the left jungle right now, so Dark Mantle is perfectly safe right now to keep putting the pressure onto Tinder. The ultimate going to be coming out of Dark Mantle, going to hit the 2nd shot. 3rd shot going to hit, but it's not quite enough, but coming in, 1 basic attack is going to do it. Apollo overstaying his welcome.
Good job by
Potty Racer was actually able to keep seed on Potty Racer, already having a pretty good game as Thoth, and it's looking like Inhumans going to be hitting their late game stride here pretty soon. A lot of stacks on the Doom Orb, and with whatever item he goes into for lifesteal, a Bancroft's Talon maybe, he's going to be hitting like a truck.
Doom Orb is really, in my opinion, if you're is only for people that are very confident in their ability to stay alive, like Thoth. And Thoth is a great example of a god that can build Doom Orb and be fine with it because of his great escape.
His great escape puts him halfway across the map in an instant. Another kill going for the way of Potty Racer, coming on lane here in this early to mid game, looking like his next target's going to be Tyler Stewart. A lot of damage going on to him. A double kill for Potty Racer, doing a good job of sticking with it and finding another kill, just being confident getting that stun. But like you said, yes, Doom Orb is a pretty risky item, and I wouldn't build it myself, but if you're confident and you don't think you're going to be dying at all, and you trust your jungler, Sidon, I think, is just trustworthy enough for that to occur.
Sidon and Minical have shown a great, and especially in the group, have shown a great companionship and a lot of inside jokes they seem to have since they've been playing for quite a while together.
I think they're all friends, and that's one thing that makes them comfortable playing with each other, is they have confidence in each other and they just know each other pretty well.
Exactly. You got to be friends with your teammates if you're going to have a good chance of winning with them.
Yes. Just a pretty big lead by Inhumans. I think at this point the finish line is in their sights. They're almost at a 10,000 gold lead, and that's pretty much the number that shuts the enemy team out, as long as the team in the lead does not make any large mistakes. But even then, they have all 6 of their towers still standing, so losing 1 or 2 team fights in a row wouldn't hurt them too much, as both team fights would only result in maybe 1 or 2 lanes being cleared.
So one could say that their goal is over 9,000?
You need to stop making terrible puns. You're going to make everybody hate us. I'm kidding. Yes, the goal's over 9,000, but that's pretty much the number that you're going to be looking for to see if your team is pretty much in the lead enough to where you can start grouping up and sieging lanes without having any fear. Sidon showing the power of Erlong Shen at level 13 compared to the level deficit that Krabby Krew unfortunately has. Tinder doesn't work, going down to Dark Mantle.
Tinder looking for that ult, but not going to go
Still
through.
pursuing the fight. Potty Racer with big damage onto Jack without Dexter, and the second victim. Actually, Minical going to be going down. Tyler Stewart going to be making a little bit of a noise for his team, but not going to be enough.
Tyler with the only kill for his team.
Yes,
going into the game too, what do you think Krabby Krew's going to have to improve on if they want to put up a fight against Inhumans? It seems like their
early game wasn't great. And to be blatant, their early game wasn't great. They have to improve on their farm game early and make sure they get the oracles and they ward a little bit better to have more vision into the map so they don't get caught out. God's Hitman could be the second one to go down, and the Spirit Ball from Mowo going to be what picks him up.
I gotta say, great job by God's Hitman with his terror. Every time there's been a team fight, he's been there with that quick route and just being the big sis of the team here.
Unfortunate for Potty Racer, he was actually caught out there too.
And now that's half his stacks gone.
Yes, that's half his stacks on the Doom Orb, so that is unfortunate, but I think he could build those stacks back up pretty quickly, and I still think he's far enough ahead where that isn't going to hurt him too much. He just needs to play a little bit more careful and realize he doesn't have quite the same amount of burst that he had before.
Exactly.
The tower advantage is definitely on the side of Inhumans, and their farm is so far ahead. They're sitting at a 13,000 gold lead.
Do you think it's viable for Inhumans to end now if they do a mid rush, or with too many towers?
I think with the Phoenix down, if they group up and rush mid, if they play it pretty clean, they can win the team fight and end the game if they wanted to. But playing safe is also a perfectly fine option for them.
All right, getting too cocky can cost you.
Getting too cocky can cost you, but I still don't think that there's any way they can mess this up so bad to where they lose the game.
We thought that about Cuddly, and then Cuddly was on their back foot there for a while.
Yeah, it's looking like Minmo gonna be caught out here. Dark Mantle and Sidon gonna see if they can't run him down. Jack without Dexter gonna try and back up his teammates. Abid's gonna come out of Dark Mantle so he can stay in the fight. Just a couple more hits out of him should take out Minmo. First hit gonna miss, but the second hit's gonna take out Minmo. Dark Mantle with the good shots from his ultimate. I say just group up here and push down mid. Caught out. Tinder doesn't work, and Jack without Daxter. The ultimate from Potty Racer going to be good to take out Tinder doesn't work. A good job by him by finally hitting an ultimate and making it do plenty of damage.
Has he been missing a lot of his ults?
I haven't seen him miss a lot of them. I saw him miss his very first one that would have got him the first blood as opposed to his teammate, but it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. He's hitting them now, and when they matter the most is late game when they're chunking kids for over 80% of their health.
Oh yeah, that's scary. That's a scary thought no one likes.
Jack without Dax are going to get caught out here. The damage from Inhumans is going to be too much. Even with the defensive item he has in Sovereignty, it's not going to be enough. Only getting just now to tier 1 of Heartward Amulet.
Right. The farm game between the two teams has been huge.
It's been massive. They're already sitting at a 15,000 gold lead, and the more towers they grab and the more objectives they grab, they can only look at a fire giant and a portal demon. It's probably going to be closer to 20,000 by the time this game ends.
Maybe. We can only wait and see.
We can only wait and see. Sneaky Beaver, though, I think that's going to be the biggest disappointment for this game, is that they have probably the best player on console right now in Sasana with his displacement and his damage, but only going 0-4-2 and at a 5-level deficit to the enemy jungler, pretty much snuffed out entirely.
Erling Shen did a fantastic job this game. Do you think Sidon went Erling Shen for the extra tank potential he provides if Sasana got out of control?
I think with Dark Mantle and Potty Racer on Thoth and Rama, they don't need a solo laner that does prominent damage, and they don't need a jungler that does extreme damage. So between Sun Wukong, which I think is a good choice for good sustained, good annoying comps, and Sidon, who's on that Erlang Shin, who is also a pretty annoying but does decent damage, they have a 3-man front line that is pretty unstoppable, allows Dark Mantle and Potty Racer to do their jobs effectively.
Mm-hmm. And looking over at top, he's I think we've seen him use this build before with Santa Time into Doomorph, into Power Boots, into Bancroft's Talon, and then Gem of ISO.
Potty Racer going to get the first kill of that engagement. Looking like the second victim is going to be Dimwo, and followed up shortly by Dark Mantle taking out Tyler Stewart. Tinder doesn't work, going to be the last man standing, but looking like he's going to get run down by the members of Inhumans. A Deicide on their side, only have to grab one Phoenix, maybe two here, and then go down the lane and end the game.
Yep, can't take right Phoenix with that tower still up.
That's true, but I also think they had time to end the game there. But it's whatever they want to do. They're far enough ahead where they can grab every single objective they want to and pad their stats.
It's a custom game, so they can't really do that, but yeah.
That's fair. But still. They can do whatever they want. And their eyes are going to be on Fire Giant, and the first Fire Giant of the game looking like it's going to go to the way of the Inhumans. Going to be melted pretty quick. Already sitting at about 50%. Dipping below 30%, down to 10%. And the Fire Giant is going to go down right now. Krabby Krew just
good job by,
snuffed out. Yeah. Not one glimmer of hope on any player of their team right now. They're just playing desperately to see if they can't stop the bleeding and make the game last long enough to where maybe a couple of them can come online, but they're at a 20,000 gold deficit.
Yep, the gold difference is there, and that's the scary thing is when gold's different. Even if a team that's even under leveled still has the gold difference, they still hurt. You know, farming is a huge part of this game.
I think the farm just got out of the hands of Krabby Krew, and I think the ward game has been something they're definitely not leading in, and looking like actually placing plenty of wards. But I've seen in plenty of fights where Dark Mantle had 3 wards in his jungle, and he had all the opportunity to push his lane up and put plenty of damage onto Tinder. Doesn't work without a response from Krabby Krew to try and help him out.
Right. You know, a lot of like we say, a lot of teams just rely on their carry to go solo 1v1 the other carry at a certain point in the game, so the rest of the field can really move around.
Yes, and unfortunately, if forward Tinder doesn't work, I don't think he was ready to be by himself for as long as he was, and Dark Mantle clearly demonstrating his skill and experience difference, so able to win the lane pretty easy.
Dark Mantle and yourself both one of the 2 of the highest experienced hunters we know of in the league at this time.
Big fight, and started over by the left Phoenix. Nothing huge happening so far, but Sneaky Beaver just getting chunked. Dark Mantle going to go up with that hot ultimate and able to get a double kill for Potty Racer. Tinder doesn't work, looking like he might be the next target, but he's actually going to be able to slip away with his life. However, Tyler Stewart going to be going down. Dark Mantle with that good damage. He already has 5 stacks of his Rage online, so he gets that extra 15% bonus that he gets with all of those stacks.
Yep, and Rage is right now one of the favorite crit items in the game, I believe, right?
Yep, it came right back into meta after they gave it that buff that gives it that scaling critical chance for the kills and assists you have. Looking like game 1 gonna be going the way of Inhumans. Krabby Krew on their heels after losing 3-25. If they can come back next game and get it back into their hands, I think they have a pretty good bid for a game 3. But they really need to clean up their farm game.
Yep. Definitely need to take a second to. I mean, most of them watch the stream during the game, don't they?
Some do. I'm not really sure in that.
It's like a 3-minute delay, I believe.
All right,
so 3-minute delay.
I am Tiny57, and this is the Reaper 01. We're going to be right back with game 2 here pretty soon.
Yep.